Well, hello everybody and welcome to Jeff's Baking Blog. Today I'm going to make a pistachio cake with pistachio cream as a filling and to cover the cake as well. And the pistachio cream will consist of white chocolate, double cream or whipping cream and pistachio cream itself, which is something which you can buy in the stores. Very, very tasty. So I'll go on to the ingredients. For the cake I have 225 grams of self-raising flour. That's 1.5 cups based on scooping packed flour into a 250 milliliter cup. Now if you don't have self-raising flour, you can use the same amount of plain flour but add into it 3 teaspoons, 12 grams of baking powder and mix it around, and that would be fine. I have 285 grams, 1¼ cups plus 1 teaspoon of softened unsalted butter. I have 285 grams, which is 1¼ cups plus 3 tablespoons of caster sugar. 5 medium eggs, that would be large in the USA. 10 milliliters, 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, a pinch of salt, and 150 milliliters, ½ cup plus 2 tablespoons of natural yogurt. You could use sour cream, but I'm using natural yogurt. I also have a little bit of green food colouring, which I may decide to use, but that's optional, and very, very little of that, just to give a slight green tinge if I need to the cakes. And also to go into the cake, I then have 300 grams, which is 2½ cups of shelled pistachios. I'm going to hold a little bit back once I've ground them to sprinkle over the top, but so 260 grams of that will go into the cake. And then for the filling and the topping, I have here 240 grams, 1½ cups of white chocolate. I'm going to use 440 grams of double cream. 240 grams, which is 1 cup, will go with the chocolate, and this is the pistachio cream. And another 200 grams will go with 20 grams, 3 tablespoons of icing sugar. So the second 200 grams of double cream is ½ a cup plus 1/3 cup. And then here's the pistachio cream, which, as I said, you can buy. It comes in jars. It's very, very tasty. I prefer this to Nutella. People who like Nutella might like this just on some toast or something. But here I have 280 grams of pistachio cream, and that works out at just under a cup basically. So that's all the ingredients, and the first thing we need to do is to grind down our pistachios. And to grind the pistachios, I'm going to put them into the processor bowl of my immersion blender, and I'm going to pulse those until they're ground down, but I'm going to do it slowly, because if you work them too much, it will turn into a pistachio batter, and we want them quite finely ground. So I'll pulse them until I get to the consistency that I want. So I've ground those down, and that took a couple of minutes because I stopped and scraped down a few times. So I'll tip those into a bowl. So that's good like that. Just a few granular bits in there, but that's fine. I'm going to take out about 40 grams. and the remainder will go into our cake. So now we're ready to go on to make the cake batter. So as we go on to make the cake batter, I'm going to preheat my oven to 170 degrees Celsius, 150 Celsius with a fan, 340 Fahrenheit, and I have greased and lined 3 8-inch sponge tins or cake tins like that. I've only got 2 the same, and I have one slightly different with a removable bottom, but it will work fine. So I've done that, and we'll go on to make the cake batter. I'm going to do this in my food processor, but you can do it with a hand whisk, or you can do it with a hand mixer, whichever way you want basically. So I'm going to put my butter, which is soft, into my bowl. And I'm going to add the sugar in as well. And then I'm going to beat that with my whisks until it's light and fluffy, and that's going to take probably 8 minutes or so. I want it really nice, light and fluffy, and I will scrape the bowl down as I do it, just to make sure that everything gets incorporated. So that's nice and light and fluffy now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add in my vanilla extract, and I'm going to add the eggs in, but I'm going to add them one at a time and whisk them just to get them combined. And that's good like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to transfer that to another bowl so that I can then stir in the remaining ingredients. So I've got the mixture into a larger bowl, and I'll just set that to one side, and I'm going to pour my flour and my salt into the pistachios. I'm just going to stir that around, get those combined a little bit. That's fine like that. So I'm going to pour that into the bowl, and I'm going to stir those and get those combined. And that's good. So then I'm going to put my natural yogurt in as well. But what I'm going to do is I'm just going to squeeze the very smallest amount, maybe 2 drops of green food colouring in. And I'll give that a mix around. I'm going to add that into the batter and I'm going to stir that through. So then I need to divide that into my 3 cake tins. And to do that, I want to put about 470 grams of the batter into each tin. Now you can eyeball this, but I like to weigh it. And then I'm just going to spread the cake batter out across the tins. It will level out in the oven a little bit as it heats up. And there's my 3 cakes ready to go into the oven. So I'm going to put them into the oven and I'm going to bake them for between 18 and 23 minutes. So they should rise up and they should begin to come away from the sides. And when they begin to come away from the sides, I'll take them out of the oven and I'll leave them for a couple of minutes. Then I'll turn them out upside down onto a wire rack and remove the liners that are on the bottom, and I'll allow them to cool down. And as they cool down, I'll come back and we'll go on to make the frosting. I baked my cakes for 23 minutes. They rose quite well and they were reasonably firm to the touch. So I took them out and left them for a couple of minutes. Then I turned them out onto wire racks to cool. These are the 3 of them, and I've put one of them on a plate with some parchment paper just around the edge, ready to work on. So I'm going to set the cakes to one side for a moment while we go on to make the frosting and the filling, basically. So in this saucepan I have 1 cup, 240 millilitres of double cream, and here is my 285 grams of pistachio cream and my 240 grams of white chocolate. I have the other 200 grams of cream there with the icing sugar and my ground pistachios. So I'm going to heat this 240 millilitres of cream until it's just about scalding hot. My cream is now very, very hot, so I'm going to pour that over my white chocolate and I'm going to stir that to melt the white chocolate, basically. And that's just about melted. So then I'm going to add in my pistachio cream, and I'm going to stir that through to get that combined. And that's combined quite nicely. So I'm going to put that in the fridge and I'm going to leave it in the fridge for about 30 to 40 minutes just to chill it through. So it's been about half an hour, and I've had my cream, white chocolate and pistachio cream combined chilling in the fridge. So now I'm going to whip the remaining double cream with the icing sugar until it reaches just about stiff peaks. I'll put the icing sugar in as well. And that's good enough. So then I'm going to pour in about half of my mixture. The other half I will put on the top of the cake later. And I'm going to whisk this again. And I'm going to chill that for another 30 to 40 minutes. It's going to be quite soft, but I want it so that I can spread it on the layers and around the side of the cake. So I've chilled my frosting for a while. It's still very soft, but I'm going to put some onto the first layer of my cake and just spread it over. Like that, and then I'll put the second layer on the top. And just press it down a little bit. And spread more on the top like that. And then I need to put the third layer on, and you can put these on whichever way up you wish, really, because we're going to cover it. And then I'm going to cover that with the remaining frosting. and I'm going to spread it around the side. And that's reasonably good like that, and I'm going to put that back into the fridge now. And I have to say, this is a cake which I will keep refrigerated anyway, but I'm going to put it into the fridge so that that frosting just firms up just a little bit before I put our pistachio cream on the top. So I've chilled my cake for a while, and I've put my pistachio cream, white chocolate and cream mixture into a piping bag with a nozzle, and I'm simply going to pipe that on the cake. Now you could try to spread it if you want, but I'm piping it just for ease really. And then I'm going to take some of my ground pistachios and sprinkle that on as well. So there's the cake, and I'm going to put that into the fridge, and I'm going to chill it again, and then once it's chilled I'm going to cut a slice and we'll have a taste of it. So I chilled the cake just for a little bit of time to allow the top to set up a little bit, and I've now cut a slice, so I'll show you what it looks like. So it cut quite nicely, as you can see, and so I'll show you the slice which I took out. That looks quite good, so I'll have a taste of this. I'll have a taste of the cake first. Has a lovely flavour to it with those pistachios, nice and soft too, and I can taste the soft frosting as well. And the top is very, very good indeed. That lovely pistachio cream mixed with the milk chocolate and the cream. Very, very good. And I should say that you can buy a pistachio cream. I buy mine in Costco, which is in a 600 gram jar, but you can buy smaller jars from online sites such as Amazon if you can't get them in your local supermarket, or maybe in your local Italian delicatessen. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you have, please give me the thumbs up below and click to subscribe to my YouTube channel. In the top right hand corner of the screen there will be an eye that you can click on, and that will take you to a link for the recipe, and I'll put a link below the video as well, and I'll be back with another recipe in the very near future. So until then, happy baking.